G'day viewers, this is a video for an audio test just to see if I've improved my settings because they were actually a little poor on the last stream after my computer rebuild. So we're in Diesel Railcar Simulator and let's key in, and our brake is applied at the moment, so let's get our handbrake off and let's start some engines. In my last stream you couldn't really hear me over the trains, so what I've done is I've changed my audio setup quite a bit, and I think it seems to be working based on the meters, so this will be the test. I'm just waiting for our guard to give us the go. We've got a signal. On a real railway we'd also want an authority, like a staff or a staff ticket or a token, something along those lines, of this sort of vintage anyway. Today they don't do that, they use train orders and they rely on the signalling system to keep the trains separate. There's our guard who's blowing his whistle. So we'll buzz him back, and should make this, you can actually see this, shouldn't I? Let's get him up into first gear, brakes are off, we're in forward. There we go. Helps if you actually release the vacuum brake. We'll pretend that didn't happen. So we're only allowed to go slowly through here, so I'll just bring it back down to idle and into fourth gear. I base my driving practices on these, on the LMS diesel railcar training videos, which are quite excellent. If you haven't seen them, go and hunt them out. Just search for LMS diesel training. How long is our train? 21, so we're already in the higher speed zone, so let's get on with it. Gearing in these are very similar to a bus. I've changed my keys in this game to be the same as the other train simulators that I play because, quite frankly, while it's an excellent simulator from a physics perspective and its graphics are okay, its key mapping is atrocious. Doesn't make any sense at all. I'm not saying the others do, but at least I'm used to them. How's our speed? We are, just zoom in on this gauge, 45, coming up on 50. And this other gauge here that I keep looking at, which is representing the revs for the motor, so when you get into that area that says down, you change down a gear, i.e. so if you're in fourth, you change into third. And where it says up, you go up a gear, so if you're in second, you change into third, or third into fourth, and so on. On our way to Chillings Langley on this made-up route, so the game, the Railcar Simulator, is all imaginary routes. They're not real, although there are some real-looking ones in the Steam Workshop. There's our AWS buzzer giving us the green on the advanced signal here, or the distant, depending on your terminology. Idle along now. So the graphics in this simulator isn't amazing, but it's also not awful, so it's a significant step up from Run 8, for example. Whereas the graphics actually are awful. Only doing 45 mile an hour, I should pick this up a little. In this game, you lose points for any part of the HUD that you have turned on. So I have the gradient turned on, and I have the what they call the mini-map turned on. With my next station arrivals and the timings for those. Oddly though, it doesn't have a distance, so while it's somewhat helpful, it's not completely helpful. And we are coming up on 55 mile an hour. I'm still very dehydrated from my steam firing run yesterday. From a temperature and humidity perspective, it was kind of horrific. All the crews on the day felt the same way, so it was just all round unpleasant, really. But the firing run went quite well for the day. Excellent coal we've got at the moment. Reached our target speed. We may actually have to apply a little bit of braking because we're okay at the moment. We do have a station coming up, so let's start slowing down for that. And we have advanced knowledge of a red signal we have to acknowledge. We've got the sunflower there from the AWS. When you're coasting or braking in one of these, you are supposed to be in 4th gear. The speed's taking rather a long time to come down, but it's feeling okay. Down to 40 mile an hour now. Just release the brakes at 30. Let them come off properly. And now we'll do a lighter brake. Release that one. We'll cruise in at 25 mile an hour. We should still come in on time. I'm still getting used to the acceleration and braking in this simulator. It's quite good from a rail perspective. So you can't just whack the brakes on and stop like you can in some simulators. It takes a little while, and it seems to take into account the gradient. That signal ahead of us has just come off. I can see it there, and it's reflected in the mini-map now. So that's letting us into the station, and the departure signal is still at red or against or danger, or it's on, depending on your terminology for your local railway. Generally speaking, on our railway, if we're coming up to a signal that is at stop, and we communicate with our driver, we say that the signal is at danger, or that the signal is against. Either of those is quite acceptable. Bring this unit to a stop. Nice brake squeal. The people don't move around in this game, but this game's about trains, not people. Last door closing, still waiting on our guard. We're not due out for another 18 seconds, so he's not going to let us go because the guards in this game are anal retentive, pedantic people. Just done what I hope is put it into first gear so we can launch it from here. The signal still hasn't come off yet. Just move down to the end of the platform. I'm not actually sure what the practice is on a UK railway, but on ours the guard wouldn't actually give you the signal to go if you could not do so. I am kind of wondering if the game... Oh no, we have got to proceed now. I thought that was on the other track, but it's not. Alright. We don't have a proceed at all. The other track has a proceed. Interesting. Let's just crawl up to the signal. We might have to go and talk to the signaller, I think. Message from signaller, waiting on an intercity up 249 to clear the line. Press... I can't even see what that is to accelerate time or to restore real time. Is that square brackets? I think it's square brackets, but I use square brackets for something else. That's okay. Just have to wait then, won't we? But anyway, that's probably pretty much covered what I wanted to cover for this video, just to see what the sounds are like. It is square brackets. I reckon there's supposed to be something in those square brackets, but there's no key set for it. That's completely fine and dandy, as they say, or don't. Anyway, this has been a sound test, so let me know what you think of the audio from this video, and we will see how it goes. We'll see if it sounds better than it did when I was streaming on the weekend. Alright, enjoy yourselves, see you later.